Oh shit, we here, boy!
Eddie G, let's go.
Epic fucking shit right here we're about to do. I
Yeah,
got
no facts. No, seriously. This is like Marvel versus DC or
my
Marvel versus Capcom or like all that cool crossover shit.
yeah, like people will be thinking they're looking fresh in their white tee. Like me, I got the white tee, but like their colors be dirty. This is a fresh white tee. You know?
Mm.
You know,
Talk to them, Eddie.
like people be like, "Oh, I got my white tee on, I'm looking fresh." Be like, "No, bro, you've worn that before. That collar is dirty." You
Yeah,
know?
word. Word. That's why I can't wear white shirts. I be bragging that I'm in my fresh shit and it's be stained right down the middle and I can't see it. Yo, that's some blind shit that we got to get into for sure.
For sure, for sure.
Mhm.
I gotta get my
Yeah,
shirt
man.
right, get the logo in there.
Hell yeah. Thanks for having me on, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Fucking, yo, like you been doing some epic shit. Fucking the whole Breaking Records, family, man. You guys are on your shit, man. Like doing some epic shit. I appreciate the whole family. Um,
Hell yeah, man. We appreciate you too, man. I love your consistency and just your straight love for the craft. You do it on the same wave as I do, kind of like from a fan's perspective, you know?
for sure, for sure. So I want to know, how did it happen? Was the message and was like, "Yo, fam, get down with the fam." Like, how did the whole breaking records thing happen with you?
Okay, so what happened was Maloney put out a status. Um,
Yeah.
and he was looking for someone to help him with the media stuff because he was going to be a father and, you know, he was going to be really busy. And um, it's funny because I had been doing a real local level interview based podcast called the Maritime Hip Hop Podcast. Uh,
Mm,
and my partner in that, shout out to Froggy, he tagged me in Maloney's status, and Maloney hit me up right away. And, you know, we just synced right away. I started doing interviews for him, I think, the next week.
awesome, awesome. Who was the first interview?
I did EPDMC, a really dope rapper from Halifax. Um, Funny story about that interview. I was new to the whole Instagram saving stuff. The IGTV hadn't really come around
Yeah.
for me yet, and it came around that week. So I really didn't know how to save the video after I was done. So I actually lost the footage.
Oh fuck! I like yo like I have a couple that like I lost, and I was like, damn, damn, you know. But definitely after that I did some trial runs. I made sure like I made sure I'm like, yo, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna talk this shit.
Mm,
Like people got to know about this shit, you know.
right.
All right.
Absolutely. That was me too, man. Um, I wanted to honor the 18-year-old kid inside of me that looked up to all these cool East Coast artists, you know? Um, and the 18-year-old me could never talk to them, could never have these conversations that I'm having.
Right.
But, you know, I'm now in a position where I can have these conversations, and what would the 18-year-old fan version of me ask them? And that's basically where it started, you know?
Okay, so if you actually had an interview with 18-year-old you, what would be the
Yeah.
first question?
Did you ever think that I'd be sitting talking to Quake? Did you ever think that I would be sitting there talking to someone? Did you know what I mean? The 18-year-old me could never believe where I'm at right now.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
for me the first moment for me I had a lot of interviews like prior to this, but like when I first interviewed Choclair,
Hmm.
I actually thought about a buddy of mine that had passed away. That like me and him were early on like super hip hop heads, and I was like, man, I'm like I wonder if my homie Jesse like knows from up above like that I'm interviewing Choclair. Is he be geeking out right now? You know, so like
That's a fact.
that was definitely a big moment for me. Doing certain interviews and like knowing like, man, I wonder if my homie knows this. You know,
Yeah, word. Man, I am annoying the shit out of my homies. Like, yo, I can't believe I interviewed such and such. It's such a big deal for me personally. And they're like, yeah, that's cool. I'll see you next week. You know,
yeah,
like,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah, for me, a lot of people would be like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like certain interviews, and people be like, "Oh shit, you interviewed so and so," and
mm,
it's man when people actually get excited, you've been doing this for a long time. Have you ever walked into a place and people have been excited to like see you? They're like, oh shit, yo, like he's here.
yeah, there's a couple times, and it really made me feel better as an artist, you know? I remember when we toured in Ottawa, I was pulling up for some lunch at a pizza spot, and down the block, all I heard was MTP, and I was like, "What? Who knows me in Ottawa? Like, what the fuck?" And it was just like somebody who knew my music and just kicked it with me for like 5 minutes, and it was the illest experience, you know?
For sure, for sure. Yeah, some people you don't even realize because some people don't click the like or anything like that. So like you're like, oh man, you don't even imagine like they even check out the shit. And then like you run
Right.
into them, yo, I seen this one, I seen this one, I seen this one. Um,
Mm.
is there anybody from that has really surprised you? Like you're like, oh shit, this person checks out my shit.
Oh man. The first time Classified's DJ IV popped in to watch an episode, I was geeked.
For sure, for sure.
Um, I'm glad that I didn't know during. During these episodes, I can't really see the comments or anything that's happening because of my vision.
Right.
So I have a friend that hits me up after and tells me everything.
Okay, okay. Like for me, I remember I've seen some people like right near the end of my interviews, or I'm like, oh man, I'm like this person's hopping in right now, and I'm like it's kind of like it's not a good thing sometimes because like you're like almost wrapping the interview up, and like you're like
Yeah.
this person just hopped in. I'm like I wish I just could do a little bit more, but it's almost like
Right. I wish I had a little more gas in the tank for this one.
right, but after you've already kind of like set up like the end of it, you're like, oh man, this
Mhm.
person just hopped in. So at times I'm like, I wish I didn't see that.
I know, right? I know. It's facts. I'm glad that I only get the information after the podcast's over. It's good.
For sure, for sure. So who is like the interview that like really you're like surprised you just like on how dope the person was, like not just like how dope like their music or anything was, like how dope of a
Mm.
person like they were.
Man, B Ravenous is a person that I could say really blew me away with how good of a human he is. Because we became friends shortly after I started doing the interview stuff, and he was really supportive and he helped me out with information and things of that nature. And then, when it came time to do his interview, there was some technical issues, and he was the first person to say, "Yo, let's do it again tomorrow. Like, I'm down." Most people don't give you that much time. They don't give you that much leeway to make mistakes or anything, you know?
Right.
Um,
Right. I've had that same situation where it's like somebody's Wi-Fi is off or something, and they're just like, hey man, I appreciate your show. I love your show. Like bring it back around and do it at a different time. And it's like
yeah.
I really appreciate that because people's like time, like people talk about like, oh man, like people be on the grind for money. Time is the
Mm.
most valuable shit like in this like on this fucking earth.
Word, you only get so much of it.
Right, like man, like I definitely be telling people like man, I'm like yo, you really be wasting my time? Like, nah,
Yeah.
I ain't fucking with you for that. Like if you know like if I lose some money on some shit, like it is whatever. Like I can make that money back, but I can't get my time
Yeah.
back.
No, you're right, man. You're right. Um, Time is important, and I value people that value my time. Um,
For
but
sure,
yeah, V Ravenous. He's got an album out right now called "Flaunting Imperfection." Really dope MC from the East Coast who moved out west.
for sure, for sure. Like do you remember the first time like we were like I'll tell you my story, but like do you remember the first time you're like yo I actually want to be a rapper? Like for me like
Yes.
I'd already got into rap. I was already listening to rap, and I used to rush home. I used to rush home to get I got after school for rap to the base
Mhm.
with Big Tigger.
Yeah.
And I remember the day Big Tigger was like, "Yo, we got the brand new Dr. Dre," and
Mm.
fucking Still Dre came on the video, and I was like, I seen the Low Riders, and within like maybe like a minute of that song playing, I was like, "Yo, I actually want to be a rapper." Like
Yeah.
I was a fan of rap before that, but I was like, "Yo, like this shit is different." Like, do
Mm.
you remember that the actual time like when you're like, yo, I actually want to
Absolutely.
be a rapper.
Absolutely. I got into rap. My first rap song that I listened to was "Gimme the Loot" by Notorious B.I.G. So that got me into rap music. Um, but man, I went to a very historic radio station for a job shadow in Halifax. It was CKDU. It was the college station out there, and there was a DJ that was showing us around and stuff, and she was also doing the programming at the time.
Yeah.
She played a classified song. It was actually a Ground Squad song, but it actually probably came out as a classified song later. Um, Hooking, it was called "You Can't Be Serious," and man, I had never heard anybody from my region that rapped.
Okay,
So
okay.
I didn't know it was possible. And it was at that moment that I realized, oh shit, I need to be a rapper. Now that I know it's
Mhm.
possible, I have to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And do you remember like the first time you were like when you actually like because like a lot of us like we don't like the first rhymes we ever spit.
Mm.
It's probably not the best shit ever, but like do you remember like you're like, "Woo! I might got something right here."
Yes, yes. It was the very first song I ever attempted to write. It was called "Smack That Fool," and it was about fighting at the local pizza spot on the weekends. Um,
Nice.
yeah, so and like, man, it didn't take much for me. I rhymed a couple words, and I was like, "Woo, let's go!" You know?
Yeah, let's go. Like when it really hits home, you're like, when it's something like that really relates to like life. Like sometimes like other people might not even get it, but you know, like
Hmm.
like and there's probably like times in my like when I was putting out music, there's probably certain rhymes that like people just like gloss over, like don't even know what it is. But to me,
Mm,
those are some of the best rhymes. I'm like, because I'm like, man, that like if people really knew.
word. I wish I could get back to the passion I had back then. You know, like when you're first starting to rap and you first hear yourself on tape or on wax or whatever it is, fucking, you're just like geeked as fuck, and you're just like, if you had the wisdom and the experience to do something with it, you would have fucking just flew off the earth, right?
Yeah, and like, did you ever get to a point where like me, I got to this point where I was doing shows all the time, and
Mm.
I was kind of like living rap, and
Yeah.
and that really reflected in my songs, like, and
Hmm.
I was like rapping about rap, Like,
Okay.
did that ever happen to you?
Oh man, I rap about rap all the time. I love rapping about rap. I don't understand people that hate rapping about rap. I love it. But yeah, like totally. You know, you go to a few shows, you get gassed up. You're like, oh fuck, this is how I'm supposed to be doing it. So you start writing to the live crowds almost, even
For
though
sure.
you're in your own studio by yourself most of the time when you're writing it. You're thinking about those crowd moments where you were just floating.
Oh, definitely like shows like definitely
Mm,
help you with like your especially after you have a couple songs, you see how like the crowd reacts to certain lines, and you see like oh shit,
hmm
like okay like when I write this next song, like it's gonna have some of this and it's gonna have some of that.
Right.
Definitely, definitely. Um,
It's still like that, man. It's still like that. You know, I'm still trying to get back to Blind Man for me because that was one of my biggest songs and it was just about uh being, you know, visually impaired and stuff and you know, so I feel like people expect realism from me and when I give them braggadocio or, you know, just some bullshit, they ain't fucking with it.
for sure, for sure. There's definitely people that do, but like
Mhm.
yeah, like when you give them like that, like kind of like that real shit from the soul, like you're like yo, like people be like oh like because a lot of people like us as artists we like we always get around people that like that rappers and stuff like that, and like we always know they will always understand this shit.
Mhm.
Like the world's such a bigger place that like when you rap about like other shit that's like not to do with rap,
Yeah.
it has so much more like potential because like there's so many people that just don't understand the rap world.
Well, it's the relatability factors through the roof
For sure,
on some real life shit. You could rap about going to get groceries and motherfuckers would jam.
for sure, for sure. Like I went and
You
went
know
groceries
that.
today. I went and got groceries today, man. I was there. I got
Yeah,
some
exactly.
I got some fruits, I got some meat, I got some pasta. You know, like
That's what I'm talking about.
for sure, for sure. What is a food like that's like in your like has always been in your daily like I mean your in your weekly in your weekly rotation like for me it's pasta,
Oh man, chicken for me. Chicken.
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 Yeah,
I'm obsessed.
I've actually been actually more on the chicken for because I'm trying to lose the weight. So like I'm trying to cut out the pasta and have more chicken, more just like chicken breast, like you know.
Yeah, I can't do the breast. I'm a thigh guy all day.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, always, all day.
Me,
Fuck yeah.
I like feeling both. You know, like they both feel nice.
Mhm. Yeah, oh fuck yeah. Facts. Hell yeah.
So you say Blind Man was your favorite song you've done?
It's not my favorite song because I'm actually sick of doing it, but
Okay,
it's probably the people's favorite song
okay.
that I have.
What is your favorite?
Wow. Man, one of my favorite songs. Fuck. Steve Wilco is one of my favorite. Shit, man. It's kind of like asking me which is your favorite kid.
Mhm.
You know, it's like it's so hard. But
I've
I do
actually
love
I've had friends that tell me like I have a friend that has four kids.
mm,
Like I was over there when we were like one of my best friends he has four kids and like all his kids are about going around and he actually looked over at me. He's like that one right there is my favorite.
that's crazy. I mean, I would be better to pick a favorite album than a favorite song.
Okay,
For
okay,
real.
okay. What is the favorite album?
Definitely my second album, Dedication.
Okay, okay.
It was the first time that I had worked with my crew to this date, Old School Entertainment, Rob Banks and DJ Alley Cat in Prince Edward Island. Real dope DJs and producers. So it was the start of something big.
So yeah, you're saying that you get the podcast like before when did the transition to the podcast happen? And was it like you're doing music and then like you went right to the podcast, or was there something in between?
Man, for a while I had been madly in love with podcasts. I listen to audio podcasts mostly. I don't even watch the YouTube. I'm just a fan of hip hop podcasts. So I wanted to do the same thing. We couldn't figure out how to record the audio yet, so we were just like, fuck it, let's go on Facebook Live and turn it up, you know? And my co-host was Froggy, my good friend from Moncton. He he's basically the voice of the streets. Everybody knows Froggy. So with him and me, it was just giving our opinions, and we were listening to some music at first, and then we started doing some interviews, and that was cool. And then it was just about the consistency, doing it every week, you know? And then Frog, he got busy with life and work and stuff, and he couldn't do the podcast as consistently as we needed to. So there was a gap where I stopped doing stuff, and I was just trying to regroup and figure it out. And that's when Maloney hit me and said, "Yo, let's work." And I said, "That's perfect. That's the opportunity I've been waiting for."
Awesome. Yeah, definitely shout out to Maloney. Yeah,
Big facts.
like he is the hardest working person that I've ever met.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I met a lot of people, and like I met a lot of people that hustle and like work hard at their shit, but like him, yeah,
Yeah.
he's definitely the hardest worker like I've ever met.
Heck yeah. When he tells me what he's got to go through, day to day and stuff, I'm like, well, why would you do that to yourself? But he's got a bigger dream of excellence that he's got to get to, and that's why he's got to do all this.
Right? Like,
You know what I mean?
like people have said to me like when like at times when I'm going super hard, like they'd be like, "Yo, like how do you find time for this shit?" It's like, "Yo,
Mm,
when you really have like a vision and you have like a goal, and you're like, yo, like, and you want to get this shit done, like there's no stopping you.
right.
Like
Right.
man, like fucking, I'll belly bounce everything out of the fucking way, to fucking
Hell yeah.
to fucking get where I want to get, you know.
Hell yeah. I'm from a mindset where I've literally checked myself out of the hospital to do shows on the road. And so, like, this podcasting shit is way easier in comparison. Like, you may notice I've got a cold. I've been friggin' blowing my nose a lot. That doesn't matter. I'm still here. We're still talking our shit.
For sure, definitely.
You know?
Yeah, like doing podcasts and like doing like live shows. Like man, like I remember like man doing like so many like live shows and shit like that, and like the grind that goes into that, like the practice for like rehearsing your songs, and
Yep.
like all that shit, like man, like I do that shit for hours. Like people like like they ask how I remember all my shit. I'm like,
Mm.
well, when I woke up that day, I knew I had a show, so I performed this set like 20 times in my fucking house before I even left to come here. You know,
That's a fact. Yep.
like
Absolutely.
people don't see that shit. You know, like
No, they never get to see that hard work and the grind. They just see you pop off, and they're like, "Oh, he popped off overnight." No, it was a long grind.
right. So like for me, man, I actually love like my favorite thing for when I was doing shows is it wasn't the local shows where people knew me. It was the out of town shows where it's like
Mm.
like I had a buddy that used like a promoter that used to invite me up to shows when people would cancel on their spot. So like I go to these shows and the only people I knew was the promoter and the sound guy. So I actually knew if I got a good crowd reaction, it was because I was killing it. Like those were my favorite
Yeah.
shows. Like, oh, do you feel the same way?
Hell yeah, dude. Though when I'm in town, I like to talk to people. I like to mix it. I like to mix it up, you know. I'll have a few drinks after my set with people, you know, try to build a base for when I come back because when I come back, it's going to be twice as lit.
because I know shows it gets hard,
Yeah.
it gets hot, I used to be so embarrassed about because I'd be moving across the stage all the time, and I'd end up with this big huge sweat mark, and I'd be walking around the club with my fucking after my set, like me I just got to the point where I started taking my shirt off. Like, did you ever get to that point where like you're like, yo, I'm just gonna perform with my shirt off, and while the fuck out.
No. I've never done that, but I do have a friend that did that. We had a group called Drive You Nuts, and we did a 45-minute set, and he was so tired and exhausted that he took off his shirt and just laid down on the stage.
Right, right.
Like,
Um,
I'm done. He was like, you know, he was like crucified on the stage.
right. Do you remember your favorite moment at a show?
Oh man, bro, I have so many favorite moments, but being at the Mob Deep show, performing in front of 500 people was probably the biggest one for me. Just being in front of so many real hip hop fans.
Yeah, yeah,
'Cause you know how it goes. It's like a mixture. There's like half the trap heads and there's half boom bap heads in the crowd, right?
yeah.
So it's mixed, but when you get these big concerts, it's very concentrated.
For sure, for sure. And like definitely, the crowd at a Mob Deep show, like they're fucking. If you're not killing it, they're probably like fucking throwing shit at you. They're fucking.
Right, right,
Yeah, yeah.
right. They're getting gully if you're not putting on. And the stage was wild little, like it was like I took a step backwards and falling off the stage. Like it was wild, but I loved it. Shout out to the Chrome.
For sure, for sure. Do you have like a certain venue you probably performed at the most?
Wow. Yeah, there used to be a place in Moncton called the Hub. We used to do a lot there. There was a place in Moncton called the Snafu. I used to host weekly hip hop nights, so I would perform there a lot. You know, we've just done a lot of music in Moncton. I used to go to Halifax every month and do a show. I have a little issue with the promoter now, so I don't do that as much, but
Yeah.
you know how it goes.
Man, I think that made me sad with this whole COVID shit. Being seeing
Mm,
seeing some of these venues being torn down because
right.
shit ain't
We
happening
lost a
anymore.
lot of hip hop in
Yeah,
Moncton.
we lost a lot of hip hop history during this like whole COVID shit. Like, man, I remember just
Yeah.
like seeing going past some where did my first show, and they were tearing down the building, and I was like, oh man, you know,
Fuck.
that's part of my history.
Yeah, man. They tore down the first venue I saw a hip hop show at, and I was really sad because I wanted to perform there.
For sure, for sure. How has been adapting to like the whole like COVID shit like for you?
I said on my new album or my new EP, um, Isolation, I said hip hop scenes are confined to tweets and streams because that's what it is. That's what it is now.
Yeah,
This is hip hop right now, what we're doing.
for sure, for sure.
You
One, two,
know?
one, two,
It's
one, two, one,
100%,
two.
man.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
like, I don't like it. I want to be out there and seeing break dancers. I want to be out there seeing other MCs. I want to see the DJs killing shit. You know what I mean? I want to experience the culture in person.
yeah.
It's hard.
Have you tried like all the elements of hip hop? Like me,
No.
I should try to do a windmill when I was younger, but I was a lot bigger at the time, and
Yeah.
I didn't get all the way around, and I was like, well, that's not happening. I tried like spray painting on the wall, and I'm like, nah, this doesn't look good. Um, but I actually tried scratching. I wasn't bad. I wasn't bad, but I didn't fully get into it. But like a buddy of mine, the very first record I ever scratched on was the Outcast. Me and you, me and you, you're
Yeah.
my cousin too. And I was like, yo, this
Hell
is ill.
yeah.
But like, yeah, I definitely tried all elements of the shit. Have you?
Man, like I feel like my vision has prevented me from doing a lot of it. Like I'm a terrible drawer. I can't dance to save my life. A really talented break dancer and teacher tried to teach me some moves, and I was stiff and just terrible at it. So he gave up and was like, whatever. Fucking, no one has ever let me touch their friggin' turntables. So, you know,
Yeah.
but, maybe when Alley Cat's drunk one of these days, I'll convince him to let me.
Definitely, definitely. So like, yeah, with your having like your good vision, you
Right.
feel your other senses are like heightened?
A lot of people say that, and maybe my sense of taste is, but, and most people are like, oh, your hearing must be better. And I always tell them, no, I've been to too many loud shows.
Yeah, I've been to a lot of loud shows too, and yeah,
Exactly. That shit affects your ears.
yeah.
Fucking, it's not good. So, like, I'm probably on the same level as everybody now.
Okay, okay, but yeah, like the taste, like you're like yeah,
Yeah,
like
I'm a great cook.
like yeah, when you eat a girl's pussy, you're like yo, you're special. Your taste is fucking
Yo, you
fire.
taste great, girl. Yo, you taste like watermelon. But that's the opposite. The opposite is true. If it's bad, it's
Oh
more
yeah, I didn't even think of
intense,
that.
Like,
I didn't even think of that. Like you're
yeah.
like girls be like, yo, other guys ate my pussy and they didn't have a problem with it. Like
Nah, dude, I'm like 10
you're
times
like,
that,
like,
like,
she's like, yo, like how come you have a problem with it? Like other guys ate my pussy, and like
right.
you'd be like, yo, I tasted it. It's not good.
Yeah, nah. We need to add some seasoning, like some salt and pepper or some shit, like a little garlic powder or something. Throw a lemon in there. You
For
know what
sure.
I mean? Like,
Yeah, but you're saying you actually feel you're a good cook.
oh, I love to cook, man. I'm definitely a good cook. Anyone that's ate at my house knows the vibes. In fact, we used to have studio sessions where I would cook for everybody.
That's fire. Fire.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, like good food, good people. Like it just adds to the whole environment. Like you're
Hell yeah.
you're like yo, when like you just be around like every time I eat chicken wings, I remember like certain memories of going with people like eating chicken wings. It's like like it definitely like the food's like it definitely sets a vibe.
Hell yeah. How do you feel about doing this back to back?
We're going back to back. Yeah,
Hell
this is
yeah,
dope.
great voice.
Yeah. This is dope. Like again, because like yeah, I love talking. Like man,
Me too.
I remember when I was telling my mom about doing the podcast with Maloney.
Mm,
And I was explaining to her what a podcast was,
yeah.
and she was like, "Yo, that's great because it's hard to get you to shut up sometimes."
You be talking.
My mom said this to me like when I described
Oh,
what a
shit.
podcast was. So like man, like this shit right here, it's just like it just
It's
comes
made
natural.
for you. Hell yeah. What time we at, dog?
We at 6:30.
Nice. Okay, perfect. We still got golden time here. We're good.
For sure, for sure. So
Fuck yeah.
yeah, so how has it been working with the whole like Breaking Records like family?
Man, it's been so awesome. Everyone has been so welcoming. Um, it's crazy because I feel like in the year or two that I've been around, there's been a bit of shuffling, you know. Um, New people have come on, and um, people have done different things or whatever. But everybody who was in, past, present, or future, fucks with the whole team. Like, these chains are not just for show. Like, they kind of
I
bring us
know.
together as a family, you know?
Talk to him.
So, yeah, man.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
The hottest crew in the game gave me a chain.
yeah. Keep that out. You don't want to tuck that in. Like keep that out.
Uh, you're right, you're right.
You
But
know?
yeah, man, fucking the team has been great. Shout out to the whole squad. Obi-Wan was one of my first interviews outside of the East Coast, which is really dope. Um,
Obi-Wan, yeah.
Hell yeah. Bristow is a really dope dude, and he's really welcomed me with open arms.
So,
Um, I was just talking to R Double the other day. We're gonna be working on some music. Shout out to Eddie Jones. We're gonna link and get it cracking. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
yeah, shout out to fucking everybody. Fucking everybody you just mentioned. Guinness, Chris Thomas, Oasis.
Yeah, man, Ennis is really dope. He would get on the friggin' the phone with me and help me with the technical difficulties. But man, Maloney's the guy I bug the most. Like, he's
Yeah,
the one I'm like, yo, where the poster at, bro? Or like, like, what are we doing? Like, what's the next move? So yeah, I gotta really shout out Maloney for putting me in position to really shine.
yeah, definitely. And I've actually I remember when he was telling me he was like, "Yo, I'm starting this thing called Breaking Records Radio," and I was like, "Oh man, that's like that was dope." And I've definitely been a supporter since day one. And like a backstory is when he was starting it, like he actually wanted for me to come on and
Mm.
and do interviews. And but it's the same thing. Like he talks about Breaking Records is his baby.
Yeah,
Like Eddie GTV is my baby. And I was like,
right.
and I was
You
like,
couldn't do another brand.
yeah, if it was something completely different, then I could have done it. But I was like, it's almost like the same thing as I'd be doing the interviews and stuff like that. And I was like,
Yeah,
yo, like this whole I've built so much with this Eddie GTV thing, like
yeah.
it's my baby, you know.
Absolutely. You put a lot of equity into it.
Like Eddie GTV is my favorite baby.
Fuck yeah.
Like,
Man, that's the cool thing about Maloney too, is he kind of gives me my own sweat equity because he made a brand for me with East
yeah,
Coast coverage, you know?
for sure.
And he let me expand beyond that brand too to talk to people like yourself. And so it's really been dope.
For sure. When he messaged me, I wasn't even about doing the interview.
Mm.
I actually thought that he was saying for me to interview you, and
Yeah, man.
and then I put out that I was going to do the interview, and then he messaged me back, and he's like, oh shit, I didn't even realize like you having your show. He's like, I actually meant to say like he was messaging me about you
Yeah.
interviewing me. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we can do that too, yo. Like we can do both of that back to back, you know?
Hell yeah. We going back to back.
For
Fuck
sure.
yeah. Man, I love the IG stuff too. Because I found as we kind of started a vibe with the IG stuff. Starting with East Coast coverage on there. There was a lot of traction there. And
Yeah,
we were doing stuff. And so when I wanted to take the East Coast coverage brand off of the Instagram, Maloney was like, "Yo, what are we gonna do for the people that fuck with you on here?"
right,
You know,
right.
and so I was like, "Well, shit, I would like to expand what I can do and talk to other people outside my coast. Like let's do that."
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And that's how it started, man. My first interview, like I said, was Obi-Wan, and we've been doing cool guests ever since.
For sure. For
So
sure.
shout out to Specs, and shout out to Eddie Jones, and shout out to you.
Yeah, yeah. Big shout outs to everybody involved in
Mm,
everybody doing this hip hop shit. Um,
yeah.
and definitely, yeah, like this whole for me too, like opening up on because I was doing all my interviews in person before,
Mm,
and like this allowed me to reach out to everybody, you know, if I were gonna wait for to do an interview with you, I'd have to fucking have to wait till till I actually go there, but like now
right.
it's like, yeah, we can just like it's like we're like in the next room, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
For sure, for sure. So, what is it about the East Coast that this is so different for you? Like when you look at you're like, I love this about the East Coast.
Well, originally it was because it looked impossible.
Mm,
We didn't have major labels at our doorstep like Toronto or New York.
yeah,
So there was more kicking the door down to do, and I respect the shit out of the people that kicked down the door for me. I remember I met Classified one time at a concert, and I said, "Hey, thank you for kicking down the door for East Coast hip hop," and I just walked away. You
for sure.
know?
Yeah, like me, I'm kind of like that too. With like when I meet like people at a certain stature,
Yep.
I just say a short little thing and move on because I know everybody's time is important, right? And
Oh yeah.
I'm like yo, I'll say a little thing, thank you, boom, boom,
Yep. Boom.
it's good.
Yeah, man. I'm interviewing from a place of gratitude
Mm,
and like fandom and just like, oh man, it's so uncool to be a fan of music now. But like I think it's hella cool. I think like people like you and me that really love this music are are hard to come by, and it's what makes us special.
for sure, for
You
sure.
know?
Like doing this whole thing, I got is there people that they actually didn't know you were doing this? Then when they find out, they actually start treating you differently. And they're like, oh shit, you do that?
Yeah.
Have you come across that?
Every rapper that I respected in East Coast hip hop scene has treated me different now that I'm in media. I get that it's like a whole competition thing, and it's
Yeah,
like, it's not really cool to take pictures with other rappers, and there's like a whole like machismo thing that you don't cross, right? But I don't buy into that. It's like, yo, if I'm a fan of you, I'm gonna tell you that I'm a fan of you. You know,
oh
I
yeah,
want those experiences.
yeah, it definitely is different. Like I remember, like when I first started doing like the Eddie TV, and I walk
Mm,
into like the same hip hop clubs that I had been going to before, I've been performing at, and like it was a whole different vibe. Like the rappers that were kind of like standoffish, shit, not wanting to talk to me before,
yeah,
they were coming right up to me and they were like, "Hey man, I love what you're doing." Like,
yeah.
and then like at a time I was still doing the shows, but they didn't really know. And I get up and I bust their ass, and they'd be like, "Oh shit, I don't want to talk to them anymore."
Ah, now it's smoke. Now it's smoke.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Oh, yo, oh, you're doing interviews now? Okay, oh, that's dope." And
Oh, that's cool. You're not competing with me.
yeah,
Cool.
and then half an hour later, I'd be on stage and I'd be like, "Boom, boom, boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom."
word. Exactly, dude.
But like,
Man, it's like rappers don't want to give you the secret sauce until you're not competition anymore, and then they're all about giving you the sauce.
right, and then like that's why yeah, I sneak around that they actually are still competition.
Oh, 100%, 100%. I'm low key competition for everybody. Like low key though. Like I'm under the radar with all my competitiveness now.
I remember when I was doing songs and I don't really mess with this rapper anymore, so I don't really want to say shit. But I had a song, and I got him on the feature, and I felt because I already had the song ready, like I played him the whole song and like put
Yeah.
him like the hook and everything like that, and then and he took his time and wrote to it, and I felt like his verse was better than mine, and I was like, this motherfucker, but I'm like I didn't want to rewrite my shit because I was like my pride,
Yeah.
but when he got me on the feature, I fucking destroyed that shit.
Uh,
I was like, yo,
smoked
like, I
his
was like,
boots.
'cause it is the competition, right? Like, it is that like rapper
Yeah.
mentality of like, yo, like, yeah. When he got me on one of his songs, I fucking like when I listen to that song, I'm like, yeah, my verse is clearly the best. Like,
Yeah. Smoked his boots.
yeah, like, do you feel that when you get on songs with people?
Um, yeah, but I keep that shit to myself because, man, the competitiveness, everybody has it. So when you start showing that you have it, people will bring out theirs. And then it'll just, like, locally, I find that it creates an issue.
Yeah.
Like, when somebody from my city says, yo, I'm the best in the city right now, even though it could be true, all the people under him are gonna be pissed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can't say that shit and expect to be cool, you know? Because all our competitive natures come out now, you
Right.
know?
Right.
And like I get it. I'm a rapper. I've been through the ups and downs of the game. Like I know how it feels to feel like you're on top of the world, you know?
Yeah.
But if you say that shit, all the sharks are coming out.
Yeah, I remember like a different song from like from what I was saying like with the guy. Like I did a collab with these two guys, and we're all sitting around drinking with a bunch of people, and somebody played this song, and I got them to I got them to stop it and replay the whole song, and some of the people that were there that weren't on the song like like the two of the guys were right in the room. I was like,
Mm.
I'm like, I asked the other people, I'm like, who has the best verse? Because I felt super confident that my verse was the best, and
Yeah.
and the people in the room said, oh yeah, yeah, like, they're agreeing with me, and I was like,
Mm.
yes, because like I have to like, but then like later on, I said to the guys, I was like, yo, I feel I have the best verse. I'm like, yo, we're so cool, like we can be friends and shit, but like I have the best verse on this song.
I fucks with my verse, yeah. Yeah. Um Man, it's like music is so subjective.
Mhm.
You know, like everybody can feel like they have the best verse,
Right, right.
you know, and most times they probably do. I
And like
mean,
it's really preference. Like people like different preferences and stuff, right?
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But like as a rapper, you should be going into it thinking I'm gonna have the best verse in this song. You should be.
Yeah, but my competitiveness stops after it's recorded.
Yeah, yeah. No, like after it's recorded, it's like yeah, like this is a dope song. Like
We made that together after it's done, you know?
yeah, like I actually want their verse to be dope too because like that adds more life to the
Right.
song, right?
100%.
Right? And like
100.
like I don't want to like I don't want to smoke another rapper on the song. Like if I feel like I smoked another rapper on a song, I'm gonna be like, hey, dude, like and be like, I'll be straight up. I'll be like, yeah, like do you want to like kind of like work on that a little bit or like before this comes out?
You want to re-record that? Yo.
Because like I'll be like, oh, listen to this verse and then listen to that. Like people are gonna notice the difference and like it.
It's hard to say that shit to real rappers because most rappers have the biggest egos.
But like me like I don't care. I'm like
Yeah.
I'm real. Like I remember at a show a rapper was doing like the overlay, which is like rapping over their track. And
Oh man, I hate that.
and I was going to do an interview with this person because like
But then you were like, no.
they had dope songs, and I straight up told him at the show, And I think this rapper still hates me to this day, like fucking. But I was
Say
like,
his
yo,
name. No, I'm joking.
what's that?
Don't say his name.
No, no, I won't. But like, I told him like, yo, like, dude, I told him like, yo, I'm a fan of the music you record. I told him that right off rip. I'm a fan of the music you record, but when you're doing your live set, it wasn't good because it just sounded like garbage because you were rapping over your track. You got mad at me
Right.
it was my bad. I actually said that like prior to doing the interview, and then we were doing the interview, and the interview ended up being trash, and like I was like I didn't even put it out because I was like it was
You
such a
should have
bad.
said it during the interview.
I should have said it during the